Well, hello, everybody. I don't normally do a news show when the stock is acting like it's been acting the last 2 days or even the last few weeks. Um, Comments have to be made. This is Randy Kirk. If you like this kind of commentary and this kind of content, please like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. And a few of you have been encouraging me to do even more deep dives and use charts and graphs and things of this nature. So I'm going to do something this weekend to take that deeper dive, maybe on Saturday afternoon. It might be sometime Sunday. But remember, I'm doing this thing all by myself, and I could use more support. So Patreon would be the way to do that. Obviously, when you subscribe or when you like, that shows me that you're supporting, but there's nothing like Patreon to help to provide the benefits that would cause me to want to really, really go deeper and provide more content. Anyway, let's get into the content for the day. First of all, I need to give up any thought that I am a stock commentator and predictor. I completely missed the crash of Tesla stock. I wrote it all the way down. I didn't sell a dime's worth all the way down. And I do tend to be a slightly more of a day trader than a full-on long-term investor. And part of that is because I'm so old. Part of it is because it's really play money, and it's more fun for me to get in and out sometimes. But in this particular case, I didn't get in, I didn't get out. I just stayed in and wrote it all the way down. And then when we're sitting at 104 and 107 and 108, I didn't buy more. No, I didn't. I sat there and went, I should buy more. I did move some money around so that I was prepared to buy more. And in fact, on Monday, I bought more. So there's always hope. There's always hope that I'm going to figure it out again and get back into my mojo. Because boy, in 2019 and 2020, I had the mojo and made so much money on Tesla. So what in the world is going on? Maybe I've lost my right to comment. I'm not sure. I even got it completely wrong on the earnings call. For those of you who follow me regularly, you know that I said the typical deal is that the price goes up on the stock going into the earnings call, and then the stock goes down during the earnings call, depending on what's said. Now, those of you who paid a little closer attention, you can go back and look at my video on that, and you'll see that none of the things that I worried about being said were said. And in fact, I can't even imagine how they could have done a better job during this earnings call. So it was, you'll even notice that Elon is wearing, he's trying to show his grown-up side, I think. He's wearing suits and his haircut is not wild and crazy. Maybe he's even having a stylist do it. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's a different Elon and it's a different commentary. And this is a story stock. The narrative is not just about the words, it's also about all the visuals. So pay attention to the marketing that's taking place by this amazing marketer, Elon Musk. Okay, so with that said, I'm still going to talk about what I think happened over the last couple of days. Number one, the price cuts have obviously had a huge impact on sales. You can hear it, various newscasts, various articles, various tweets out there in terms of the numbers going up. Elon mentioned that they're getting twice as many auto sales per day as they are producing autos. That's certainly an indication. There's a company over in Europe that leases cars, says that they leased more cars in the last week than they have leased, more Tesla cars in the last week than they've leased Tesla cars since they started leasing Tesla cars. So lots of this kind of commentary out there, which indicates that the price cut worked. Now, you'll remember that I said that the price cut, after the price cut took place, which I said wouldn't, I said they could use all these other marketing levers. You can go back and look at the marketing levers that I recommend. You can see those either on YouTube videos or you can read my book and the Elon Musk mission. And you can see that I believe that there's a lot of other levers. And guess what? One of them just got pulled yesterday. We'll get to that. But if the price cut was going to be a price cut, then you want to make it a headline. And in this case, they made it a headline, and it became a big deal. And everybody was commenting on it. It was all kinds of, it stole the day. It stole the day, maybe a couple of days of the news, of the financial news in terms of this price cut. What it meant was that the end of Tesla, all the whining and crying, and some people saying, hey, it was a great idea. So when you've cut it that much, and then you have these dramatic increases in sales, then you start to re-increase your prices as necessary. It's already happened. He's already increased the price on one of the products, one of the Model Ys. I would expect to see, if the continuation of this dramatic increase in orders takes place, Elon is going to raise the prices back up, 500 here, 1,000 there, depending on the market, depending on the car, depending on what's happening in the order books. And he's going to do that strategically. And what's that going to do? That's going to start moving us up the ramp of margins again. And the market gets this. This actually is something that even the silly folks that comment on Tesla stock, so many of I'm not going to list the silly folks out there, but even the ones that are dumb kind of get that if your order book is getting filled up, you're going to start raising your prices again. And if you raise your prices again, you're going to get the margins back, and that's going to give you more bottom line. All of that is really, really going to be important, and is already, I think, infecting the minds of those who are making decisions about investing. Okay, number 3. That was number 2. If the prices are hiked, it'll add to margins, and they'll be hiked if there's those kind of orders. Okay, number 3, the clear guidance. Okay, he laughed when he said 1.8 million units. People are really giving me a hard time on some of the comments about this 1.8 or 2 million or more than 2 million. I think 2 million is a gimme. I don't think that it's going to be hard at all, and I think they'll go over 2 million. That's just me. I'm going to show you various different charts in this next video that I'm working on. That'll be out Saturday or Sunday. I'll show different versions. 1.8 million at $47,000 with only 20% margins as a worst case scenario. I'll show you 2.15 back up to 25% margins, with a $52,000-$53,000 average cost per car, sell price per car. So I'm going to do a few different looks. But I think that's what any smart investor is doing right now, is saying there's a few different looks. And depending on the economy and depending on the demand, we'll see what happens with various of these different looks. Okay, number 4, the shorts got squeezed. There was amazing shorting. A lot of folks, even when it was down in the 120, 110, 105, the short activity was huge, and they got cooked. They got. Yeah. That's all. I'm going to say. Okay. The overall market has been getting good news all week with regard to inflation and with regard to the economy. The inflation numbers are really good. This is really good news in terms of the Fed not doing worse than 25 basis points on February 1. And maybe it's over. Maybe they won't do the 25 basis points in March. We'll see. But everything points to what everybody's been saying that I trust. Elon and Kathy and others have been saying, hey, we're already in a deflationary environment. And so inflation is over. It's time to forget about this other nonsense. Bonds are still playing around at 3.5. Mortgage rates have been coming down. I think the financial wisdom of the crowd is saying inflation's over. Don't have to worry about that. And the economy is managing pretty well, even with the Fed's increases. So all that said, it looks to me like this last year of the market was really just a continued reaction of what happened with COVID and with all the shortages and then with the boom bust environment. And now that's all starting to kind of work its way through the system, and things are kind of getting back to normal. And normal is maybe going to be kind of so-so years when you're not growing the population. And the so-so years will be wealth building, though, because so many new technologies are going to drop the cost of living, and that's just going to benefit all of us in terms of our ability to live better, and that around the world, not just in America. And that is kind of what we're going to be talking about in the Elon Musk magic, which will probably be out sometime this year. I've said late summer, and that's still a possibility. Okay, the model, it's been announced. Let's see, who said that maybe the Tesla would use low-price leasing and low-cost loans as a way to generate more business? Oh, that was me. Oh, yeah, that's right. And guess what? Today it was announced, $399 lease on a Model 3. Tesla said in the earnings call that they're going to potentially be in the business. They already are in the business of some of their own financing, some internal financing. And that would be for both commercial clients and for retail. And yes, we know they've been doing that for a while. They also, have good relationships with third parties that do this as well. But that's one method that you can use. Instead of cutting prices, I would have done this lease at $399 or maybe even $299 first before the price cuts. But see, that's why Elon's Elon, and he's the richest man or second richest man in the world, and I'm Randy and I'm not. So, but anyway, at least I got that one right. Okay, just later. Okay, number whatever number this is, number 7 or 6 or 7. The energy story is probably starting to be understood a little bit. No, the average stupid commentators on television, they still don't understand it. But the energy storage business is a huge story, and it's probably starting to infest the minds of a lot of investors out there, a lot of even institutional investors who do take the time to really pay attention to all the news, not just the headline news. The new factory in Sparks, that's my last item on the list. This is way bigger than the market gave it credit for. This alone probably should have been a 100-point increase in the cost of the stock. You're talking about 100 gigawatts of potential battery production, and you're talking about 50,000 semi-trucks at $200, $225,000, $300,000 a piece, plus all the stuff that goes with those two things. Just the 100 gigawatts of batteries at $35 from the U.S. government in tax consequences is $3.5 billion in pure bottom line profit. The market did not respond to that. The market is not in the mood right now, still not quite in the mood to be risk on, but that news should have increased the stock price all by itself by 100 points. There's just no doubt about it. Now, if you haven't listened to my interview with Dylan Loomis, you definitely need to listen to that. This guy is extremely bright. I consider him by far to have the very best news of the day broadcast. No offense to anybody else out there. He really digs deep and he finds news that matters, and then he gives great commentary on that news. I listen to a lot of other guys for news of the day. I just think right now Dylan Loomis is doing the best job on the news of the day of any of the YouTubers. And then later, by the time this is published, I will have done an interview, another interview. Well, my first interview with Herbert Ong, and I think that's probably going to be an amazing interview as well. That should be out sometime on Saturday. So look forward to that interview with Herbert Ong. So if what I'm doing here makes sense to you, like it, to show me that you care. If you really care, join the Patreon. It's only $5 a month, and it will help me to be able to afford the time and the energy to put out better and better and better content, I hope. All right. It's been great talking to you.